We're going to be drawing and painting the seagull today, where the view we're going to be doing is as if you're on the beach and you're looking up to the sky. The seagull will be in flight and we want to give it a little action, so we're going to draw it on a bit of an angle. So I'd like you to make a line that's slightly off center going off to the left. Then we're going to do an oval. The oval should be about the length from your index finger down to where your thumb begins. That's your oval. Then a smaller oval up here, which is going to be the head, and a triangle down here, which is where the tail and the feet will go. Now I'd like you to take your hand and about the distance from the body out, we're going to make a little line. Comes out about here. And then I want you to also take your hand and make another line coming down. That's going to be about where the wing comes up. So from right here, just a little bit lower than where the neck is, we're going to make a dip. And that's going to be where the beginning of the wing begins. Then from here, it goes out on an angle. Starting right down here, about where the oval ends, we're going to come up to this line that we make and go out right here, up to that and go out. So that's going to be the wingspan. Okay? Now we're going to, right up at the top, we're going to make a long beak, and we'll be adjusting that later. Now let's get the drawing done. After the beak, we're going to ease into the head. We're going to round it, show a little bit of a neck, and then it comes down to the body, just like that. And then the tail, curve it out, follow your line here. And then from each side, we're going to bring here a triangle, bring it over here, another triangle, and those are going to be the feet. Now again, for the wing, we're going to start, come off of here and come up and arch it. Come from here, come up and arch it. From here again, make sure you go up high enough, and then that goes over, and this comes up high enough and goes over. Take your big eraser, get rid of all our guidelines. We didn't put many in, so there shouldn't be too much erasing. I'm going to just fix this side of the head up here. Okay, now seagulls are mostly white, so what we're going to be doing is putting in the contrast of the dark color, and eventually we'll be putting in the color of the sky. Take your large brush, and for paints, and I've had people request, what type of watercolor do I use? It's this set of Reeves 12 watercolors. They're relatively inexpensive. You can get them at most art stores, roughly $10. They've got all the colors you need, great for a beginner. So I'm going to take my large brush, get some water on it. Then I'm going to get my black, which is at the very end of that tray. I'm going to use enough water to wash it out, try it out so it's a nice light gray. Get my brush off here, and I'm going to put in a bit of a light gray here on the belly of the seagull, and that's going to come down on either side of the legs a little bit into the tail. Get some more water. I'm going to darken it up a little bit. Again, try it out on some newspaper or so, and I'm going to do the outside. I want it a little darker than that. The outside here to define the body. Also come up right up here so you leave a bit of a white space from the top of the wing down, and I'm going to bring that out a bit, and the same on the other side. Let's come down, darken it a little bit more, come down, a little bit of a white space, come over. I need to get a little more water. You'll have to play around with your values of how dark and light your grays are. So I have it coming down like that. Next thing, I'm going to get a lot darker black. Using my big brush again, starting up here, I'm going to make these quick strokes, and these are the feathers coming down. And quick strokes all the way over. And the same way here, starting up here on that rib, coming down. Seagulls are found in most beach scenes, paintings. They're found on almost all beaches worldwide. I don't think they're down in Antarctica, although you never know. They are mostly carnivores. However, they have become opportunistic eaters where if you're on the beach with some French fries or pizza and they're used to you being there, you better watch out because they'll snatch it right out of your hand. All right, I'm also going to take the rest of this dark color here. I'm going to make a little bit here on the tail. Some of the gulls have dark tails, some have light color tails. Rinsing out my brush. I'm going to switch now to my small number 4 brush. I'm going to get some orange, and up here for the beak, I'm going to put in the beak. Again, the seagulls have a curved beak. You can't tell it from here. A little bit of a V here. And the terns have a straight beak. Now for the legs, we're going to kind of come from the side, push your brush down a little to make it a little thicker, and then come out for those webbed feet. Seagulls are able to walk very fast. They can fly and they can swim. They're very adaptable, highly social. They mate for life. They're found in flocks. There used to be a band called A Flock of Seagulls. So there's our touch of orange. I'm also going to use my small brush, come back in with some of my black, make a little more, try it out. Now with the intense black right on the side here, I'm just going to put a line. That's going to be where the eyes would be. You're just seeing a little bit of it. You can also, with the intense black, come in and show a few more of the feathers. And we want the edges to be very rough because that's where the plumage comes off. There we go. Seagulls, again, are found on all the beaches. They're very loud. There's one actually called the laughing gull. Because of the noise that they make, they throw their heads back and yell. And sometimes you can find them away from the ocean. The state of Utah has the seagull as their state bird because years ago the seagulls came in and they ate up the locusts that were threatening the crops of the settlers, and the seagulls saved them. So they made the seagull the state bird. Now that we have that, that's very much in, and you know, I think I'm going to make just a little more of a dark color, a little more dark right up here, right under the rib. That's the bone. Yeah, right under there. Let's put a little bit more dark right there. Okay, now we want to show the backdrop of the sky using your large brush and that blue. Have enough water so that it moves easily. We are going to put in the sky. Now this type of a painting, you could actually do the drawing of it, and if you have a blue ceiling, you could trace down some of the pictures and you could be painting a flock of seagulls on the ceiling of whatever room. For kids' rooms, this would be pretty cool, looking up and seeing seagulls flying over your head on a blue painted ceiling. Again, some more blue up here. Be very careful as you go around the edge. And that gives us our contrast to the white of the gull. Just be careful, you're not going to, and leave that little bit of white at the leading edge of the wing. You don't need to paint in the entire back, just enough to show that the gull is in the sky. You can add a little more detail if you want, but there's our flying seagull.